Okay, hey, what's up, guys? It's MLG, and I've been really busy, making a video recently because there is a hot topic, and it's a weekend, and I'm gonna have a lot of stuff going on in my life in the next week and days and stuff, and so I won't be able to comment, and I'm not gonna be able to produce video or whatever. So I decided to just, while I'm here, while I can, I'm gonna do some stuff. So I did some videos. If you look in the list there, about the reality trilogy and the modern AI thing, and when we discuss theory in anything, it can be science, can be RPG, can be philosophy, it can be sociology, psychology, biology. We come from a subjective perspective. We are not, pure objectivity is not possible. And if you think you can achieve it, by semantics or stuff like that, because I had this conversation with Anthony Runzlinger, and the comments that I was receiving were constantly implying that I was biased. Yes, I am. Of course I am. I'm a human. I have taste, and we talk about games and stuff. Of course I'm biased. Listen, it's really important to understand. There's the people and their biases and tastes and preferences, and there is the ideas, and they're, they are connected, because, the way it goes is that what motivates me to criticize something, what motivates me to think about it, describe, ask questions about it, and come up with distinctions and stuff to clarify the dialogue and everything, are my biases. I am motivated by my biases. If I don't care about modern AI, for example, I won't talk about it. It's common sense. And now that's one thing. Now we're gonna come up with our biases. Now, doesn't mean that these biases are there not to develop and analyze and synthesize and describe and conceptualize stuff, for that matter. So these biases are part of the expression. We express ourselves, and they end up being some kind of a noise. Okay. So for some people, that noise is more annoying than others, and so that's one thing. But you take that in mind, is that, for example, me, I never call people on their biases. I never do that, because I assume them. I mean, it's part of the game. It's part of what it is to be human and communicate. So they are there. They are always there. So I don't spend time on that. So don't think because I don't call you out on your biases that your own biases are not there for me as well. They are. They are. The fact, that I am, for example, I'm being called on my biases in the comment section when I talk about modern AI, shows that you don't see it the same way as I do. So now that we assume that, we can get over that and just stick to the ideas. And I really, really recommend that. I've been feeling that a lot recently, and I don't understand why, because for some of the people I interact with in this community, it's been for a long time. So people know my biases. If you listen to this channel, I've been expressing them for the longest time. And so since it's just it's a community, hobby thing, the intellectual and conceptual rigor of objectivity and stuff like that, I honestly, I do that in the weekend. I do that for fun. So I'm not gonna be like, okay, so I am like in university right now, like, talking with people, and I need to be so goddamn precise that I cannot express and have fun. I kind of like take for granted that people will understand what I'm saying and stick to the ideas and leave aside the biases. And so this is really important. Now, that being said, I expressed my mind because this is how I felt towards some of the the feedback I've received. I mean, I say some really, really important stuff in these videos, and some of the feedback I receive keeps on saying that some stuff implies this and that, and everything is implied all the time. Like, I'm gonna give you just an example with science. Science is the summum of objectivity in human nature, in civilization. And science is, before being objective, and is only, science, how can I say that in English? Science's objectivity necessarily rely on the subjectivity of those who does it. Experiment it, prove it, bring it forth. You cannot have objectivity without a subjectivity trying to reach for it. It's impossible. It's just not, it's not coherent, with what it is to be a human and to be, part of an environment and a world that we express. So it's really important. I hope you guys can understand that. Now, in RPG theory, when we discuss stuff, it's game related. In philosophy, I come from philosophy, or in science, or in any field, social sciences, everything is tainted with biases. Some people, hate other thinkers because they prefer this one, and some people don't believe these scientific data because they prefer these ones, right? So I mean, and these people are scientists, and they argue with one another, and so now we talk about games. Games, if there is anything that is subject to preferences and tastes, is games. So games, you will always come from a biased perspective, and so it's just a matter of, obviously, I would agree with Runslinger's critique when he says that calling me on my me expressing that I have no tolerance for Mother Maya and stuff like that. I agree that this is definitely not the best way to put it out, but it's the way I did. It's the way I did, and this is and that's it. And I'm pretty sure that the important ideas behind that noise, people can get it if they want to get it. If you don't want to get it, I'm not even interested in talking with people who cannot filter that noise, who don't assume it. We especially with in these kinds of environment where we are, online community discussing theory about the games we like, and this thing we're so passionate about. It's impossible to distillate biases. Even someone who works really, really hard on his semantic, the biases are implied by the propositions and the meaning behind them. So, so for me, this is a really personal video. It's not gonna go on the RPG Technique Consortium page, because there's no technique behind it. It's just me expressing the fact that I really want everyone in these community to acknowledge their own biases. They are there all the time. We are not objective when we talk to one another. Never. We don't have a scientific method for objectivity here. Absolutely not. Semantics are not something that can provide such an objective framework. And I'm sorry, I this is not the way I understand it. And I see if I want to focus on biases, I will see them everywhere. I can see biases in scientific paper, in neurology. I see them all the time. I can see biases are everywhere. It's just a matter of making the switch and stop, assuming and insinuating and do like. Insinuate and assuming about the other person, like his or her biases. Like, they are there. We know each other, especially with the people I interact with. I interact with a bunch of people in this community, you know me since 2012. I've been my biases. I wear them on my sleeve. I wear them in my face. I make jokes in my videos, like where I make metaphors how funny I find stuff, and I say stuff like I find it stupid to do that, right? And so you what you see is what you get. It's just a matter. It's important to be honest with one another and frank, and it's gonna make the discussion way better, way faster, and it's transparency, because it's like you can being so often interpreted by people who search for biases when you are trying to express an idea, and so your idea gets misinterpreted, and I agree that I can work and make utilize a better semantic to do so and everything, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and it is what it is. So I after that there is like an ethic of communication, maybe of being able to filter that noise, and because me personally, I filter everything all the time. I develop over the time like an Occam razor approach to dialogue, where I just go to the idea. As soon as I hear the noise, I'm like, and then the ideas. But I'm good. I'm used to that. I don't know. It's just people are not important. Intentions and people and preferences and tastes and biases. It's not important. That's not what we are talking about. And they are there, and let's assume them. And I think it's gonna help a lot of things, because sometimes it's hard. It's hard to feel like to justify oneself and to feel misunderstood. Because I don't know. It's and we can say that, yeah, but if you don't want to be misunderstood, communicate better. We can say that, obviously, but expression is the way it goes. I mean, it's legitimate. You express yourself at one point. So if the expressivity, the expression of ideas and information are expressed in emotional matter, or more oriented toward criticism, according to our own biases and everything. Well, there is some kind of responsibility to each side trying to go around that and go to the ideas instead, right? All right, thank you for watching. I hope that makes sense, and I hope we agree about that we are not objective, and let's not fool each other. That would be fun. All right, talk to you soon.